We have two files for this exercise, and what we need to do is combine both of those files in order to make a map that shows variation in unemployment levels across the state of Tennessee. The first of these two files is what's called a KML file. KML is an acronym for a Keyhole Markup Language file. And what it does is it tells a mapping program, in this case Google Fusion Tables, where to draw the boundaries, how to draw the boundaries for each county in Tennessee. I could show it to you easier once it's been uploaded to Google Fusion Tables, so we'll just set that one aside for a minute. I would like to show you, though, where I got it. I got it from the Census Bureau website, this page in particular. And you can find here KML files for each county in the United States, and also KML files for things like census blocks and census tracts. It's right here behind this download these files link. If you go there, there's a subdirectory, and you can just scroll down through there and find whichever KML file you're looking for. Okay, so that's the KML file. The one that I can show you right now is this Excel file, this Tennessee unemployment file, January 12 to January 2013. It looks like this. What I have here is, in column A, the name of each county in Tennessee. In column B, I have the employment rate in January of 2012. And in column C, I have the unemployment rate in January of 2013. And then in column D, I have an indication of whether the unemployment rate was getting better or getting worse. In all these counties at the top of the file, it was getting better. And then we have a few in the middle that stayed the same between 2012 and 2013. And then all the counties here at the bottom, in these counties, the unemployment rate got worse. Now in column E, I have a color code indicating what color to make each county based on whether it got better, the same, or worse. These are CSS codes for colors, and I'll put a link in the comments section to a key where you can go and you can look up these codes. And finally, in column F, I have the change from 2012 to 2013. This is simply the January 2013 unemployment rate minus the January 12 unemployment rate. So a negative figure in column F means that things are getting better. The unemployment rate is going down. And if you scroll down, you can see that in those counties where the unemployment rate stayed the same, then the change is, of course, 0. And then in those counties where the unemployment rate has gone up since 2012, those numbers go positive. Okay, so that's a quick tour of the data set. Let me show you where these data came from. They came from the local area unemployment page on the Bureau of Labor Statistics. In particular, if I go to that page and scroll partway down, I find this Create Customized Map tool, and I can use it in this way. I can come to this site here, and I can, let's see, choose counties, and then indicate which county I want to deal with. In this case, let's pick out Tennessee. There it is. And let's see, I want the 12-month net change. That's going to give me both the 2012 and the 2013 figures, the latest available ones. And I can pick the year and the month there. And then click Draw Map. And I get a map of Tennessee, which is what we're trying to make, but we're going to make our own map. What I get below that, though, is a table of figures, and getting these figures into Excel was as easy as highlighting these just like that, and right-clicking and choosing Copy, and then switching over to Microsoft Excel and pasting. If I just go to a new sheet here, right-click, Paste Special and Text, and choose Text and click OK, then there they are. So that's how easy it was to get these data in. Let me just delete that sheet so it won't cause us trouble. All right, and then of course I added these other columns of information based on the figures that I had copied over, the direction column and the color column and so forth. So that's where the data came from. Let's talk now about getting these data uploaded to Google Fusion Tables. to upload the data files to Google Fusion Tables, start by going to Google Drive. That's just drive.google.com. If you don't have a Google account, you'll need to create one for this exercise. And you can do that by just clicking the big red sign up button here. It's free, there's no charge, and it's actually a pretty good thing to have. I already have a Google account, and my credentials are already here, so I'm just going to click sign in and go from there. Now, to upload the data into Google Fusion Tables, you'll need to click the Create button over here and choose the Google Fusion Tables icon off of the menu. Now, if you've never used Google Fusion Tables before, that icon's not going to be here. I've deliberately deleted mine so that I can show you how to add it. If yours is already here, just hang on a minute. This next part is for the folks who haven't added it yet. To add the Google Fusion Tables icon, just click Connect More Apps right here. And then scroll down this list until you see the Google Tables icon. There it is, right there. And notice when I put my mouse over top of it, I get this connect link that I can click on. And when I click on it, I can click that OK. And now when I click the big Create button, there's the Google Fusion Tables icon. So that's for you folks who are just now installing it. Alright, so to get the data uploaded, click the Google Fusion Tables icon, and then just browse to wherever the file is. I'm working off of this disk E here, this thumb drive. And let's see, let's upload the Tennessee County Borders file first. This is the KML file, the one that will tell Google Fusion Tables how to draw the county borders. Just going to highlight it and click Open. And let's see, this is all fine. We can click Next. And this is also fine. We can click Next again. And we can click Finish. And there's the file. Now, as I promised you earlier, now it's easier to see what is actually in this KML file. In the first column, you have a description which contains some information about what each record stands for. That file was in there in the original that I downloaded from the Census Bureau website. That one was there along with this name column right here. Now, I had to do some manual editing to get the county names in there. Basically, I had to look at the information that was in the description column and then manually type in what county that was. And notice also that I typed it in lowercase and also in uppercase, just so that I could match it up with whichever type of table I needed to match it up with. So then the rest of the files, let's see, the 3-digit is a FIPS code, which is a standard Census Bureau code for a given county. That's yet another way to match up the county information. A 5-digit FIPS code. And then the final column is this geometry column, and that's the one where all the codes are that tell Google Fusion Tables how to draw the maps. So the main thing to see here is that you need that KML column. And then some indication for each row as to what county is represented by that row. Okay, so that's the KML file. We can get a little preview of it here if I click this Map of Geometry tab, and it'll go ahead and draw the map here, and we can see that we have each county in Tennessee drawn on essentially a Google map. And right now they're all shaded red. We'll be changing that a little bit later on. So that's a KML file. Let me go ahead and close that out. All right. And now let me go back and upload the Excel file, the one with the economic data in it. So we're going to click Create again, and Fusion Tables. And let me bump this up a little bit. Navigate to where it is. That's it right there. Highlight it, click Open. And click Next. And Next again. Finish. And there I have my my economic data. Okay, so now let's start putting these two together to make a map. Let's come to File, right here, and click on Merge, right there. Alright, and now we need to pick a file from Google Fusion Tables that has the KML information in it, the information about how to draw the county borders. Well, that's the one we just uploaded. That would be this Tennessee County Borders file. So I'm just going to hit the checkbox next to it and choose Next. And now I get this sort of side-by-side comparison of the two data files. This is kind of analogous to what you did in Microsoft Access, where you were matching up data fields in two separate lists. Here, the thing is, you can only match up one data field from each file. So in the current table, this is the Excel file. We have these fields. We're going to match up the county name file, the column with all the county names in it. And in the KML file, we're going to match that up with the county name all caps. And it gives us a little preview there to make sure that we're looking at the same kinds of information in the two columns. All right, so that's ready to go. Let's click Next. And here we can indicate which fields we want to include in the new merged table that we're about to create. The safest thing to do here is to take them all. You could uncheck them if there were one that you didn't want to bring into the new table, but I'm just going to take all of them here and click the Merge button. All right. Now click View Table. You'll get a new window. Okay, and what Google Fusion Tables has done now, it has taken those two separate files we uploaded, the Excel file with the economic data in it, and the other file, the KML file, with the mapping information in it, and it has paired them up based on the information in this county column right here. Okay, so once we have this done, here's what we can do with it. I'm going to click that Map of Geometry link again. All right, and there's our map of Tennessee again with all the counties lined out. But now when I click on a given county, here's Rutherford right here, I get all of the information that is in the Excel file that we uploaded, as well as some of the information that was in the KML file. So this is the information I'm after right here. There's the January 12 unemployment for Rutherford, 7.1%, and the January 2013 information for Rutherford, 6.5%. Okay, and we have that for every other county on the map. Whoops, get it back up here where we can see it. Okay, so now that we have the map up there, what can we do with it? Well, here's where things get fun. You remember that when we were plotting points using Google Fusion Tables, you could change the characteristics of the points. Well, when you're plotting polygons, which is what these outlines of counties are, polygons, they're shapes, you can also change the characteristics of those shapes based on information in the file. We can take a quick look at this. If I click on Tools and Change Map Styles, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of the counties depending on that column indicating whether things are getting better, staying the same, or getting worse in terms of unemployment. So let's go to, Polygons and Fill Color right here. And the default, of course, is to use one color. That's why the map is red. But let's change that color based on a particular column. Hit the radio button there and choose the color column. Remember, that's the column that indicates what color each county will be depending on whether things are getting better, staying the same, or getting worse. Set that up and hit Save. And now the counties have changed color. Let me zoom in a little bit here so we can see what we're doing. So counties that are blue are counties where things have gotten better since January of 2012. Counties that are red are counties where things have gotten worse in terms of unemployment since 2012. And the counties that are kind of this pale white have stayed the same. Things haven't gotten better or worse in those counties. And that's all based on the information in that column county, in that color column in the original data file that we uploaded. So now you have a fairly interesting story. You can look at the map and you can see where things are getting better and where things are worse. Generally, I'd say things are doing fairly well in Middle Tennessee, where MTSU is, staying the same in some of the counties, but generally we're blue here. The unemployment rate is coming down. Not so much so in Western Tennessee, particularly in those sort of counties between extreme Western Tennessee and Middle Tennessee. And it's kind of a mixed bag over in East Tennessee. You've got some bright spots around Chattanooga, for example, and Knoxville, and then other areas things are still getting worse there. So that's one way you can represent these economic data. Let's look at something else you can do. Come back to Tools, and again change map styles. And this time let's try a gradient. This is pretty interesting. Let's click Show a Gradient, and let's base this gradient on, let's see, the January 2013 unemployment. That's the column that shows what the unemployment rate is right now for each county. And the range there is 5.2% to 18.1% unemployment. Let's just go ahead and adopt that range, since that's the range in the data. And let's see. High unemployment rates are bad, and low unemployment rates are good. So let's go with let's set the gradient here from the darkest blue, and then the next step would be, let's see, the lightest blue, just like that. And then how about the lightest red, and then the darkest red. Okay, so what's going on here is we're telling Google Fusion Tables to code the map based on the current unemployment rate, and it's going to make the lowest unemployment rates dark blue and the highest unemployment rates dark red. And all of the unemployment rates in between will be gradations of the color change from blue to red. And so let's see what we get. I'm going to click Save here. Okay, now I have a pretty interesting map. Now I can see not only where unemployment is good and bad, but how good it is or how bad it is. Obviously, it's worse right here in this dark red county. This is Scott County, where the unemployment rate is currently 18.1%. Wow. And it was 18.5% back in January of 2012. So believe it or not, things are actually getting a little better there in Scott County, but obviously better is still not so great. Meanwhile, things are probably best right here. This is Williamson County in Tennessee, and that looks like about the darkest blue on the map. And it is the unemployment rate currently is 5.2% in Williamson County, a little down from 5.6% back in 2012. And there are some other counties that are doing pretty well too. Again, out here in West Tennessee, there's an awful lot of pink to red out here. You can see, if you just pick one, here's Carroll County, currently 13.4%, up a little bit from 11.6% back in January of 2012. So that's two ways to filter and display the data on the map. One using kind of an absolute, this color for getting better, this color for staying the same, and this color for getting worse, and this gradient function which kind of gives you shades of colors between two extremes to indicate changes or gradations in value. Now let me show you a few more tricks that you can do with this map once it's generated. Right now, when you click on a county, you get kind of a messy pop-up screen. You get all this information, which is a lot more information than we really need. You can edit what shows up in that window, and you can do that by clicking, let's see, Tools, and then Change Info Window Layout, just like that. And here you can simply uncheck anything that you don't want to display in that little pop-up window. Like, we really don't need to show people the FIPS code, probably not that version of the county name, and nor that, let's see. Change would be good to keep, well, no, let's delete that as well. We don't need the color code or the direction. Let's keep the January 2012 unemployment rate, the January 2013 unemployment rate, and the county name, and that's probably plenty. I'm going to click Save. And now watch what happens when I click on a county. Instead of all that information, I get just a nice succinct, this is Maury County. In 2012, the unemployment rate was 10.6%, and in 2013 of January, it was 9.5%. So nice and succinct pop-up window there now. All right, let's do something else now. If I come to, let's see, Tools and Publish. Okay. Oops, I forgot to do something. Before I do this, I have to set the share permission to public. I'm going to change that to, actually we can, yeah, let's do public. Public on the web. Anybody can find it. Click Save. Okay, and done. Now, when I come to Tools and choose, let's see, Publish, I have this this information here. This is a link to the map that I can email somebody or whatever. But what I'm interested in for what we're going to do next is this HTML for embedding the map on a website. I'm going to highlight all of that, right-click it, and choose Copy, and then switch to this website. I'll have the URL for this down in the comments section. This is the Fusion Tables Layer Wizard, and this is a pretty neat tool. If I come to here, and in this embed link box, right-click and paste that code that I just copied, and then choose Put Layer on the Map, then my map shows up over here. All right, and let's see, I can zoom in to kind of the level I would like it to appear. Let's see. Well, I guess that's going to be it right there. Yeah, and I can center it to how I want it to appear and so forth. And what's going on down below that then is it's generating this HTML code here that I could use to create a web page that will display the map exactly as I see it right here. That makes it a little neater for display, like on your newspaper website or on your own website or wherever you're going to post this. There's another interesting thing I can do here. I can add a search feature. I'm going to do that by, let's see, I have a couple of choices here. Let's go with a select-based search. And let's use that column that indicated which direction the unemployment rate was going, whether it was getting better, staying the same, or getting worse. And I'm going to go ahead and type a label for that as well. Direction of unemployment rate. And click Add Search. And it adds it to this, in this little line right under here. And what I'll be able to do now, once I use this code, is be able to use this drop-down menu to show only the counties where things are getting better, only the counties where things are getting worse, or only the counties where things are staying the same. So in a way, I've managed to combine the two types of information we have here and make the map a little bit more interactive. All right, I can also change the dimensions of the map right here if I want to. I can make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to leave it as it is for now. I'm going to hit Update Map to make sure I've applied everything. And then I'm going to come down here and copy, highlight and copy all of this HTML that's down here, all this code that's down in this box. Okay. Highlight it, right-click, and choose Copy. And then I'm going to switch to Notepad or any sort of word processing software and paste that text in, just like that. Make sure I got it all. Make sure it starts with an HTML code up here and ends with a \HTML. That's how you know you got everything. And then save that as a file with an HTML extension. Let me go back to my removable disk here. And I'm going to call this, let's see, Tennessee unemployment, January 2012 to January 2013.html, just like that. and click Save. And then I can close that out. And now watch what happens when I open that file in a regular browser. Let me hit refresh here. There it is. So there's the file I just created. If I double click on it, wow, look at that. And then watch what happens. Here's how let me scoot it up a little bit. It's a bit low. There we go. Here's how the filtering feature works. If I choose better, I see only those counties where things are getting better. If I choose worse, I see only those counties where things are getting worse. And there are the counties where things are staying the same. I can also zoom in. This is live, so to speak. And the pop-ups work as well, just like they did earlier. And if I want to set everything back to the way it was, I can just refresh, and there we go. So this is ready to be posted on your newspaper website, on your own website, on your blog, or wherever you're going to publish this. So pretty handy tool, and I hope you will enjoy and find good uses for these mapping techniques.